Hare Krishna Prabhuji, shall I sing one or two paragraphs of that Guru Kripa Prabhuji in the meantime? If
Yes.
you allow.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Guru Kripa Kule Krishna Adha Mera Prati Kila Kiya He Tu Karo He Me Gati Guru Kripa Kule Krishna Adha Mera Prati Kila Kiya Nile Hete Koro Evi Gati Guru Kripa Koile Krishna Ache ki chuka jadam Hey Anumane Ache ki chuka jadam Hey Anumane Nahe kenu animena Hey Ugrastane Guru Kripa Koile Krishna Rajasthamu Guner Samaya Jana Vasudeva Kamanuji Nahe Se Prasanna Guru Kripa Kule Krishna Tabhe Jani Tama Kripa Uri Ahai Tuke Sakale Sambhava Hoy Tumi Se Kotuke Koile Krishna Shunvatam Swakatam Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasto Hi Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhashrita Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tadharajastamo Bhava Kamalobhadayashe Chetanete Danavidham Sthitham Sattve Prasiddhati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogata Bhagavad Tattva Vijnana Mukta Sangha Sajayate Vidyate Hridaya Grantesh Chidyante Sarva Samshaya Kshiyante Chasya Karmani Drishta Evatmanisware Rajastha Mohate Kame Bhaye Benistara Hridayera Bhadrasati Guji Betahara Guru Kripa Koile Krishna Bhakti naye vedanaye name khooba dharo Bhakti naye vedanaye name khooba dharo Bhakti Vedanta Nama Tebhe Sarthak Karo Guru Kripa Koile Krishna Dhamera Prati Kilagi Mile Heta Kuro Evi Gati Guru Krishna Koile Krishna Guru Kripa Koile Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. May I request you to read the translation also? In the meantime, I will continue to work on it.
Sure, Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji.
Only you read so that people can absorb the content. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Just a minute, Prabhuji. I think I'll have to pull out this one from the net. I have only 4. Yes, Prabhuji. Translation, first paragraph. My dear Lord Krishna, you're so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me. But I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Most of the population here is covered by the material modes of ignorance and passion. Absorbed in material life, they think themselves very happy and satisfied, and therefore they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudeva. I do not know how they will be able to understand it. But I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you're the most expert mystic. How will they understand the mellows of devotional service? Oh Lord, I'm simply praying for your mercy so that I will be able to convince them about your message. All living entities have become under the control of the illusionary energy by your will, and therefore, if you like, by your will, they can also be released from the clutches of illusion. I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. The words of Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation, and if a sober person repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, then he will be able to understand your message. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hanking, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. Thus, established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Thus, the knot in the heart is pierced and all the misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as master. He will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in his heart will disappear. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or the other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So, if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel engladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So, if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, make me dance. O Lord, make me dance as you like. I have no devotion nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhakti Vedanta as now. If you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hari Bol Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So let us hear one or two reactions. How did you like this song? And what really caught you? Some of the participants can speak. What makes Prabhupada's this song so very special?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. After doing all this, how humble he is, like as if he has not taken any efforts. He is praying to Krishna that as if of course it is all by Krishna's mercy, but still after doing all this, he's very humble. How we should learn, we are not capable of anything. How if he is saying that how insignificant we are, we have to be very, very humble, Prabhuji.
Absolutely. See, from this song you realize that here is a devotee who has taken every possible risk, but he is not praying for himself. He is not praying for himself, he is praying only for others. This shows that he is an Atmaram. He is just reflecting God, transparent via media. Because Krishna also, can anyone say why Krishna comes into this material world? Please.
To
Prabhuji, he
protect
comes.
his
Please pure
devotees
devotees,
and
Prabhuji.
One by one.
Associate with it. So
Krishna
please,
comes
please.
to the world to show mercy to his devotees who
Okay.
are
Fine.
wanting to
That's
see
enough.
him.
Short answers. So he comes to show mercy. Yes, Veena Naidu Mataji.
He comes to take us back home, back to Godhead, Prabhuji. That is his only mission. To
Yes, thank you. So same thing, what Prabhuji told, give mercy. And give mercy means taking us back home. Suma Mataji.
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां प्रभुजी.
Okay,
Both.
why should he come to Paritrana?
Reciprocation.
Huh?
Reciprocations, Prabhuji. Reciprocate with his devotees.
Krishna
Love
is experiencing the perfect reciprocation in the spiritual world.
He loves his children, Prabhuji.
Spiritual world is internal energy, where everyone is behaving exactly to give full happiness to Krishna. That's why he is called Atma Rama. Why Krishna is called Atma Rama? Because it is all in his internal energy. All his desires are instantaneously fulfilled by his unlimited energies situated within the internal energy. So why does he come to this material world, which is external energy? It is not anything that he needs. He is simply coming to shower his compassion and to take back the fallen, conditioned souls back home, even though they don't want to go back home. But still, he comes to reclaim the lost souls because he knows they are suffering, even though we may not admit that we are suffering. So that way, Krishna, why does he come here? Not that he needs anything from here, but he comes only to give mercy to us. It is the same with pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada. So when we study Prabhupada Lilamritha, even though many times we feel compassion towards Prabhupada, oh, he's struggling so much. Why doesn't he succeed? Why doesn't Krishna help him? Why he has to suffer so much? But we forget that he is suffering not for himself. Because he needs nothing. He is fully satisfied because Krishna is Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santasadaiva Hrudayeshu Vilokhayanti Yam Shyam Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarup. Krishna is shining in the heart of Srila Prabhupada 24 hours because he has got the eyes which are anointed with prema. So Prabhupada's in the supreme absolute perfection, completely enjoying ever increasing joy of ecstasy of Krishna prema. So why does he come here and at the age of 70, he takes a ship, takes so much problems and goes there and then he is praying, Krishna, let them understand because they are steeped in Tamogun, Rajogun, how they will understand this message unless you empower my words and you enter into their hearts and give them the understanding. Why is he begging like that so much? He is begging for them. So we have to understand that Prabhupada is not in need of anything. He's just excuse me, I don't know what's happening. I have to restore the PPT. Why it suddenly disappeared? So that is one thing that we should always keep in mind when we read Prabhupada Lilamritha.
சதானந்த பிரபு ஒரு கிளாஸ் கொடுக்குறாரு அவர் யூடியூப் ஆன் பண்ணுவோம்.
Oh, Prabhuji, so that screen share suddenly disappeared.
அப்படி இருந்தா நீங்க லேப்டாப் எடுத்துக்கணும் பிரபு இங்கே பண்ணிடலாம் இருக்கு லேப்டாப் எடுத்துக்கோங்க நீங்க வந்துட்டீங்களா லேப்டாப் நாங்களே பண்ணுவோம் நான் பண்றேன் யூடியூப்ல எடுத்து கொடுக்கலாம்
Post disabled participant screen sharing. Oh, I am no longer the. Just hold on. Huh? Just a minute.
They're so nicely arranged.
Prabhuji, the other Prabhuji is showing as ghost Prabhuji. I think that is the issue. Ramarupa Chaitanya Prabhuji is showing as ghost.
So some of the other class after is there for class.
Oh, another class is going on simultaneously. Hare Krishna. Is he not? Just kindly hold on for a few minutes. We'll try to resolve.
Oh, YouTube started at one. No, YouTube started. It is showing here YouTube started already. I only have taken.
Hare Krishna, devotees, are you seeing the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. I am sorry for all the trouble because this time, our usual link, another regular class is going on. I did not realize that earlier. So I took another link. And in this process, we had a little difficulty. So now we can proceed. So, we realize from this song how we actually, from Prabhupada's song, you are actually getting a window to the heart of Krishna. You are not seeing Prabhupada's mood, you are seeing Krishna's mood in that song. So this is how do you see the heart of God? Only through a pure devotee. Because he's a transparent via medium. So he is showing the heart of Krishna. So if any of you have any doubts that Krishna, does he really care for us? Why does he allow so much suffering in this world? Is he so completely helpless or he is cruel? All these kinds of doubts, it must be settled. That this is the way it has to be done and everything is happening perfectly. We as spirit souls, we are not suffering really. It is the false ego to which we got attached. Like, sometimes we are sitting in a cinema theater and we are crying. Right? We are crying. But the moment the lights are switched on, the screen goes blank and we are going to take a break, eat some ice cream, take some popcorns. Gone. When the light is shined, nothing. But again, darkness, all the doors are closed, lights are switched off. Again, the movie starts playing. Again, we start laughing, crying, etc. That is what is actually. And why Krishna is running this movie? Because we did not want Krishna. We wanted to become master. We wanted to become enjoyer. And Krishna had to facilitate that, because the only nature of Krishna is to fulfill the desires of all the souls. Nityo nityanam chetara chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadati kama. Krishna fulfills all your desires. Until you say, Krishna, I desire only you. Until you don't say that, he will be fulfilling all your other material desires that you are having. He will continue to fulfill. Of course, from the fulfillment of every desire, pain will come. And one day we will wake up to this realization. Someone was giving this example, that happiness of this material world is like a pregnant mother. The happiness of this material world is like a pregnant mother. Why? Because a pregnant mother will give birth to a child. Same way, the happiness of this world will give birth to a child of misery. Every happiness in this world is pregnant with misery. That's why Krishna says, Matra sparsha sukhaunteya sidoshna sukha dukkhata. Sukha will give way to dukkha. Whatever you consider happiness in this world, actually, it is the seed from which dukkha will grow tomorrow. So that is the point we remember. So Krishna knows this, but still, as a wayward children, we want this, and Krishna allows us to have. But Krishna is not leaving us there, no? To the willing soul, he is sending the spiritual master. He is sending all the scriptures. They are coming from the Lord. The scriptures are coming from the Lord. And Lord himself incarnates. All this he does not for his enjoyment. Why not for enjoyment? Can anyone say? All the pastimes that Krishna is performing here, they are not for his enjoyment.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, because he is already Atma Rama Prabhuji, he does not need any enjoyment Prabhuji.
Yes, but Atma Rama should not be explained like that, Mataji.
Oh, sorry
It should be
Prabhuji.
explained in another way. What you said is correct, but it should be explained in another way.
Sorry.
The way is,
Self-sufficient.
Krishna is engaged in unending loving pastimes with his loving devotees in the spiritual world, which is his internal energy. So the internal energy is meant to fulfill all the desires of Krishna instantaneously. So Krishna is called Atma Ram because of the spiritual world, which is his internal energy. So that is how he is Atma Ram. It is not that he is satisfied within himself, sitting there and closing his eyes, meditating, and he is happy. Not like that.
I'm sorry Prabhuji.
No, you don't have to be sorry. These understandings we have to get. That's
Sure.
why. You didn't say anything wrong.
Could you please repeat once more, Prabhuji, the way you said? I just want to.
Krishna is a person, and he has got three prominent energies: internal, external, and tatastha, called Jiva Shakti. So his Leela expansion is happening through this. And it is the internal energy of Krishna. Why we call internal? Because it is most intimate to the Lord. Where the perfected souls, his own internal Chit Shakti and Hladini Shakti, Sambhid and Hladini Shaktis are entirely fulfilling the desires that are arising in the heart of Krishna. Whatever desire, these Shaktis, Hladini Shakti represented by Srimati Radharani. So there is complete Ananda for Krishna there. So why he will look for happiness outside the internal energy? He will not look. He is fully satisfied. There is a Vedic statement which says, Vrindavanam parityajya padamekam na gachet, which means Krishna doesn't take one step out of Vrindavan. This Vrindavan is his internal energy, spiritual world. Padam ekam na gachet. One step also he doesn't take out of the spiritual world, Vrindavanam. So that is, he is captured there. How? By love. He's so thoroughly captured that. So he has no need to come to this material world. Same with a pure devotee. Why should Prabhupada come to this material world? Because Krishna wanted it to help these suffering souls also to come back. So that is why Krishna plants devotees into this world. And Madhurya Kadambini Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, it is only through a devotee that you will get bhakti. Only a bhakta can give you bhakti. Only through accumulation of bhakti sukruti you will get shraddha. The qualification for doing bhakti is shraddha. Yes? Does anyone know the steps of shraddha to prema? One of you can try. All the steps, all the way from
Shall I
shraddha.
try, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Shall I try?
Yeah.
Shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana, kriya, anartha, nivritti, nishta, asakti, ruchi, bhava, prema. Prabhuji.
Yes.
Correct.
So in this list, first is shraddha, correct? First you started with shraddha and you ended with prema. But the shraddha itself is not part of sadhana bhakti. You know that? They say the sadhana bhakti starts from shraddha to prema, correct? But shraddha is not part of sadhana bhakti. What is part of sadhana bhakti? From sadhu sangha only sadhana bhakti starts. But that shraddha you get only through devotees, bhakti sukruti. Somebody prays for you, somebody gives mercy to you, somebody feeds prasadam to you. Like that, you get the sukruti, and that is the only qualification for doing bhakti. So the qualification for doing bhakti also comes from bhakta. So Krishna sends those bhaktas to this world so that they can plant the seed in the hearts of the living entities. So anyone who gets that seed is very, very fortunate. Now from that point onwards, it is for us to water and nourish that plant and make sure that weeds don't grow. When you put water, weeds should not grow. Many of the weeds look like the creeper itself, the creeper of Bhakti Lata. Sometimes the weed also looks like that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, many of the weeds look exactly like the Bhakti creeper. So if the water is taken by those, then this Bhakti creeper will be malnourished. It will not grow. The weeds will grow. So that you have to take care, and you have to make sure that the mad elephant doesn't come and destroy the crop, the creeper. So for you to nicely fence it. So all these things one has to do, and then but the seed is given by a bhakta. So this Rupa song is very, very important for us to study deeply, to know the heart of Krishna, so that we will develop love for Krishna. The devotee is actually Krishna. Krishna says in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Acharyamam Vijaniyan. Understand that your guru is me one. Yes. You should not think he's a human being. And you should not find fault in your spiritual master. He is actually the Supreme Lord who has come to you out of his costless mercy. Costless mercy. We don't deserve anything. It's all costless mercy. We are all criminals in the prison house. Why should the master come? Because so Krishna is so merciful that we have to understand. Okay, I think now we will start this class and move on. So this title of this session is I will not. What is the title? Shall I go back to the screen? It will not be possible to assist you. That is a caption for today's class. It will not be possible to assist you. Okay. So November 65 to April 66 is the period that we'll be seeing here, something like 6 months. You remember Prabhupada left in August, 13th August, Friday. Then he reached in September, middle of September. And then he went to Butler, Pennsylvania. He stayed exactly 1 month. And after 1 month, he came to New York. And in New York, he went to Ramurthy Mishra. I wanted to ask all this in quiz form, but lack of time, so I am questioning and answering. And then we should actually take Prabhupada's life into our heart. Then Krishna will become very merciful to us. And from Ramurthy Mishra shunts him off to another yoga studio where he has given a small room, lightless, windowless room. That is where Prabhupada is staying. And then he shifts from there to another room. Prabhupada said, I shifted the room because I wanted better light and ventilation. But Ramurthy Mishra says he wanted to become independent of Mishra Yoga Society, because Mishra Yoga Society is Mayavadi. And how can a devotee preach under the banner of a Mayavadi? They will not allow. So that's what he said later on. So now that is what we are going to see. Let us see. So this is from a letter to Sumati Morarji. You can all see the screen. Let me make it full screen. Why it is not full screen? Yes. I have come here in my old age. Prabhupada is writing to Sumati Morarji to impress upon her why she must help him. I have come here in my old age, neither for sightseeing nor for any personal interest. It is for the interest of the entire humanity that I am trying to implement the science of Krishna, which will actually make them happy. So it is the duty of every devotee of Lord Krishna to help me by all means. Sumati Morarji is a devotee, you know that, no? Sumati Morarji is a worshipper of Balakrishna. She belongs to the Pushti Marg, Vallabha Sampradaya, which is also a bona fide Vaishnava Sampradaya. But they worship Krishna as Balakrishna. So he is writing to Sumati Morarji, you must help me by, he makes many demands on her. One of the demands is that, see, now we have given me a free passage on the ship. Now we will want to import more and more devotees to US, because as my mission grows, I have to bring, and you should give all of them free passage on your ship. Like that, he says, you send me the Mridanga, Karatal, etc. Help me to build a temple here of Balakrishna, because you are such a great industrialist. You are famous as a successful industrialist businesswoman. You should also become famous as a great devotee. So help me to build a temple of Balakrishna in New York. Like that, he is trying to impress upon her. But then it will not be possible to help you. Most of the time, they don't even reply. To these letters, he got no reply. You remember one letter he got from Sumati Morarji in Butler, Pennsylvania. Does anybody recollect? Prabhupada took it very seriously. Does anyone remember that letter? The main content of that letter? What Sumati Morarji wrote? Okay. She said that, Swamiji, you don't come back until you get your health restored and your mission becomes successful. Like that she wrote to him in Butler, Pennsylvania. After that, we don't see her writing to him. But Prabhupada took it seriously. He said, this is a message coming from Krishna and my spiritual master. Because at that time, he was not very healthy, no? So I should become healthy and should preach the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, make it successful. Then only I should go back. He took it seriously. But then he's writing to the same Sumati Morarji, no more letters, no more replies. So she's not even explicitly saying it will not be possible to help you, but simply by no reply, that is a message. No? Apply, no reply. That's what we are seeing. Not only from Sumati Morarji, from others also. So in the meantime, the winter has set in, correct? November, December. So Prabhupada got an extension of stay. Amidst all these problems, Prabhupada got his visa extended. He got first time 3 months only, no? But he got extended. So Prabhupada has no intention of going back now. He's struggling. The month of December has come. And Prabhupada is staying in that room, 507, right? And he's seeing the opulence of New York. There's so much prosperity, tall buildings, people going in posh cars, speeding on highways, 8-lane highways, and all those things Prabhupada is seeing. But same time, some things are disturbing him. What is that? The fire engines are going all the time, left and right, ding, 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 ding. Fire engines are running. I don't know. The fire is burning everywhere. Does anyone recollect something connected with fire? Quickly, you should respond so that we can move fast. When we talk about fire, what do you remember? Does anyone sing Guru Ashtakam every day?
Yes, Prabhuji. Dhavanala.
Prabhuji.
Prasada Dhavanala. We are in a ball of fire.
Thank you. This material world is compared to a forest fire. And Prabhupada elaborates further. forest fire is not set by anyone intentionally. Of course, these days they do that also. Prabhupada says forest fire is not set intentionally. When there is dry timber, particularly dry bamboo, then the breeze comes and they clash against each other and fire starts and the whole forest becomes burnt down. So like that, we are in the middle of a forest fire, we are burning. So Prabhupada is saying fire engines are running all over here because they are all caught up in samsara and there is fire everywhere. That is one thing. Second thing is police cars with their sirens, with their blaring lights, red, blue, red, blue. That is also running and Prabhupada is noticing this. And there are criminals on the street, they do mugging or sometimes they do murdering and there are victims falling down and they are crying. Prabhupada is noticing. Prabhupada is in the heart of the city, in the uptown New York. Prabhupada is saying that. And he's seeing victims are sometimes crying, in extreme pain on the streets. Prabhupada is hearing that. And there are criminals making noises and police vans and fire engines. Prabhupada is saying. So there is so much opulence in New York. But this is the soft underbelly of New York, Prabhupada is seeing. Because this is a materialistic city steeped in Tamogun and Rajogun. And what more can you expect? And some of the other things. And this is a very small chapter, but every word is special. I thought it's a small chapter, I will make it easily. But I would, given a chance, I would like to read out the whole chapter for you. So powerfully it is written. Wherever Prabhupada went, he smelled dog stool. New Yorkers have no love for each other. They have no love for each other. Their love is for dog. Everybody needs love. Everybody needs to exchange love. So they exchange love with dogs. So everybody is walking the dog on a leash. And the dog is passing stool everywhere on the streets. And because of the heavy weather, summer, the winter weather, the smell is not going away. It is not, bright sun will dry it up. Smell will stop. But this is wet stool. Forgive me. Smelling everywhere. And Prabhupada is getting this dog stool smell. And supermarkets are filled with stuff. He's seeing nice looking mangoes. So Prabhupada was remembering home. He tried to purchase mangoes, but tasteless. Very colorful, looking beautiful, tasteless. So these are all some of the experiences of Prabhupada that in Lilamritha is written. Much more is written, just to give you a small flavor of it. And ocean liners, New York is a port city, no? Ocean liners are making this wah, that sound Prabhupada is hearing. And when he hears that sound, Prabhupada is thinking, someday I will go in these ships and I will send devotees in these ships all over the world. And we'll have Sankirtan in every city and town in the village and city of the world. And people will sing Gauranga, Gaurnitai, Gaurnitai, and they will sing and dance, singing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prabhupada is dreaming like that. In the midst of all this, Prabhupada is thinking about his mission of giving Krishna consciousness. Weather is becoming colder and colder. That was an unusual winter, 1965. Freezing wind, icy, slippery streets. The water was freezing on the street. There's no snowfall, but the water droplets are freezing, forming a sheet of ice on the road. And imagine Prabhupada walking on that road with his rubber shoes. His dhoti. He's not wearing a pant, trousers. He's wearing dhoti. He's wearing a coat given by Ramamurthy Mishra. That is the only protection. On the head, he's having a cloth cap. You have seen, no, sannyasi cap. That's what he's wearing. And he's taking his regular morning walks on morning and more frequent walks also on these streets Prabhupada is going. And it's so icy, strong winds. Sometimes the winds are so strong, it can push a person down. The person can fall down. So heavy winds. And Prabhupada, 70-year-old man, is walking on these streets and observing the life of New York, the life of the New York people, so that he can preach to them. So this is what Prabhupada's mind is always thinking. How can I give them Krishna consciousness? In this climate, he's moving. And sometimes he thought, let me go to Ramakrishna Mission because I will find Bengalis there. Ramakrishna Mission is a Bengali mission. So I will go there and talk to these people. Let me see what they say. And he went to Ramakrishna Mission. You know what they said? Hey, Swamiji, what is this? You are wearing this saffron dhoti and this kurta. Not possible in here in New York. You must wear pant and shirt and coat and tie and cap. Not only because the weather here is not good for you, but also people will not respect you and listen to you. You must dress like them. You must absorb the spirit of American life. Otherwise, you cannot be successful. And they said, you must drink liquor. This weather is not very good for you. You have to drink liquor regularly and you should eat meat. Yes, you are coming from India. You have been following a very vegetarian diet and very restricted habits. You have given some vows also, but here you have to break them because you have to survive. And unless you absorb the spirit of American life, how you are going to preach? They won't even listen to you. In all goodwill, Swami Nikhilananda was advising him. And even before Prabhupada came to America, some of his god brothers were trying to teach him because they had gone to the West before. They were trying to teach him, Ray, don't eat with your hands there. You have to use a fork and a knife. You have to hold the fork in your left hand and knife in the right hand. Don't do it other way. They will laugh at you. They will not respect you. This is the etiquette of eating. No fork in the left and knife in the right. And how like that they were teaching him. So Prabhupada laughed and said, see, people who go to America, all the Indians who had gone to America had absorbed the American way of, and they had changed their thoughts, words, and actions, their dress, their way of life, everything they had become Americanized. But Prabhupada said, you all came to America because you wanted to get something. But I have not come here to beg. I have come to give. So I will not pick up these habits. But Prabhupada remained what he was. How proud you are about your Guru, right? All of us at heart, we should be feeling so proud that we have such a Guru. He never compromised anything. He remained a pure Krishna conscious devotee, a disciple of his Guru, a representative of the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in New York. Never compromised. So he decided, I will not go to Ramakrishna mission again. Here people are highly compromised. And what is their purpose? Some Mayavad philosophy they have. They want to teach everybody Mayavad. For that only they have come here. And they want to survive in America. And they are doing all these compromises. I will not do that. And then he would go, but please don't share this with the public. Because Ramakrishna mission is a very, very powerful mission. They are doing some amazingly good work for the common man. Running hospitals and schools and colleges, educational institutions, and feeding the poor, etc., etc. So we have all respect for them. But from a purely spiritual perspective of taking people back home, back to Godhead, from that point of view only we are rendering our criticisms. Right? So please don't go out into the market and start preaching to Ramakrishna devotees that, please don't do. This is all for our own education. When we go to the non-devotee public, we should be very, very careful and compassionate. The moment you use words like this, they will become your sworn enemies. Not only your enemy, they will become enemy of ISKCON. That will close the door for them to ever become a devotee. So please be extremely careful how you use your words outside. Because Brahman is also transcendental. Paramatma is also transcendental. Bhagavan is also transcendental. But within the transcendental platform, we are aspiring for the highest, to reach out to Bhagavan in a mood of prema. So when we are in our own group of devotees, we can speak like this. But outside, you have to be very circumspect, very careful about what you speak. And Prabhupada would go out wanderings, to observe what is going on locally. And during these walks, as I said, in his dhoti only his coat was the protection. He would walk, but he would walk everywhere. And he would look at the buildings and he would think, oh, such a big building they have built, but only for their enjoyment. Why can't they build temples for Krishna? This building, if they give it to me, I will make a nice temple out of it. Like that, Prabhupada was watching and identifying buildings that would be suitable to start a temple. So in that way, one time he met one Mr. Reuben. in a park bench. In the park bench, Prabhupada is sitting in one corner, Reuben is sitting in one corner, and Reuben struck up a conversation with Prabhupada. He was a metro conductor, New York metro conductor. He was speaking to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was telling him, we are rich. Not I am rich, we are rich. We have temples in all major cities of the world, and the temples are flooded with devotees, and they are all singing the holy name and dancing. Only time is separating us. Prabhupada told him, only time is separating. So Prabhupada could see the future also. Only time is separating us. And Reuben says, I felt that he was a very lonely man, but he had this spiritual vision. He reminded me of Jesus, Elijah. Elijah is in the Old Testament. He becomes Jesus in New Testament. Even though Christians deny rebirth, very clearly it is there between Old Testament and New Testament. Elijah became, there are two preachers in the Old Testament. One of them became Saint Paul in the New Testament. The disciple became Saint Paul in the Guru became Saint Paul, and disciple became Jesus Christ. So there is rebirth, but anyway, for various reasons, these things are buried and hidden. They don't want people to know about rebirth, because at one point after the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, the religion was taken over by the king. Because the king was afraid that if religion stands independent from the monarchy, religion may take over the monarchy sometime. So they took over religion and they changed everything to say there is no rebirth, there is only one birth. At the end of it, you go to eternal heaven or eternal hell. They created the concept of eternal hell. You know, why would God, the loving Father, like to put his children in eternal hell? If that is his purpose, why did he create so many souls? If majority of them will end up, anyone who is not belonging to that religion will end up in the hell. See, supposing you start a factory, right? You start a factory and you want to produce, let us say, cars. Okay. And you are producing lakhs and lakhs of cars every day. And out of that, 99,900 cars are ending up as defective. They are not saleable and they are junking it. So producing lakhs of cars and 99,999 are junk. What kind of a factory are you running? Say, if God is producing souls and almost all the souls are ending up in eternal hell, then what kind of God is he? No? Useless, no? People don't think on these lines, that we are casting aspersions on God that he is useless by saying anyone who is not belonging to my religion will go to hell eternally. No salvation for that person. So all this nonsense is going on. So Reuben recollected seeing Prabhupada as a very holy, godlike person. Then another lady called Mrs. Ferber, she was running a shop called Paragon Books. Prabhupada went to her first to sell his books. She said no. But Prabhupada kept on going. You know, his Bhagavatam said, finally she bought the books and she started keeping them in her shop and they were selling. And Prabhupada would come to collect the money from her time to time. She also recollected he was such a godly person. So humble, so soft and gentle and very godly. And I instantly started liking him. He would come to my shop and say, please give me water. For other people, I will say, there is a water cooler you can take. But somehow for this person, I was inspired to walk all the way to the water cooler, bring water and serve him. Does it remind you of anything? This particular pastime of Prabhupada asking for water. He knows water cooler is there. Not that he is incapable of walking to the water cooler. So you should remember, a devotee, out of his causeless mercy, he gives service to the non-devotees so that they will get sukriti. A devotee, to those people who are not ready to accept bhakti, they don't have the shraddha yet, they give sukriti like this. By doing service to a pure devotee, you make advancement in spiritual life. So this lady did not know what Prabhupada was doing, but she recollected, he made me bring water for him. I happily did that service. Yeah. So actually, where you are finding people who are not ready to accept devotion, you should try to give them very gently some service. Or you can give them prasadam. No, you make them eat prasadam. That's a service. Krishna prasadam. You make them eat. Or you make them have some good feelings about devotees, about ISKCON, about Prabhupada. Good feelings. That is a Sukriti. If they say, oh, I like Prabhupada, I like ISKCON, I like ISKCON devotees, I like the books of ISKCON. When they say this, they get Sukriti. And the Sukriti builds up, it becomes Shraddha one day. Sukriti, a critical mass, then becomes Shraddha. That Shraddha makes you eligible to start the bhakti process. Not till then. You cannot give bhakti to someone who doesn't have Shraddha. Okay, so these are all important points for us. Then, Prabhupada was, in the meantime, trying to start a temple somehow in New York. He has seen in India so many churches. The Westerners came to India and they wanted to spread their religion. What they did? They built churches where people can be invited and you can deal with them. You can give a nice atmosphere. You can teach them Bible, etc. So there are so many churches in India. Let us build a temple here. So he was approaching everybody. And this chapter title is, it will not be possible to help you. So now we will quickly move from one to the other. His Holiness Banu Maharaj, Bon Maharaj. It's called One. In Bengali, Bon. One. So that is the name of this Maharaj. He is a disciple of His Holiness, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he is a disciple. So Prabhupada's godbrother. So he wrote to him, please help me to build a temple here. Bon Maharaj said, sorry, foreign exchange cannot be remitted to America. India has a tight foreign exchange position. Because the war, 2 wars with China and Pakistan had happened. So not possible. So then Prabhupada said, please send me deities, Radha Krishna deities. To that Bon Maharaj replied, yes, I can send you the deities. It will cost you this much. But to maintain the deities, you will need money and you will need people. Where you will get them from? Then Prabhupada wrote back saying, you are my God brother. I am only executing the mission of our Guru. Our Guru wanted this knowledge to be spread to the Western speaking world. So please give me the people, please give me the money, please help get the permission from the government. Dr. Radhakrishnan is known to me. He has already given me some favorable letters. So you go to him and you ask him, he is the President of India. He will give you that permission, but no help. Then, so Dr. Radhakrishnan, no question at all that he will help because he is a Mayavan. But Prabhupada is not leaving anybody. He is trying everyone. Because if the Paramatma from within asks them to help, they will help. But it is my business to go and ask everyone. So the winter storm was become terrible. There was a heavy snowfall one night. And Prabhupada woke up and he thought they had painted all the doors and walls white. Until he went out, he did not know there was snowfall. Heavy snowfalls are falling. One of the worst winters of New York. But Prabhupada did not stop going out for walking. Anyway, he has to buy his provisions also. And he continues to observe the world around him. In his dhoti and rubber shoes, he was walking in these snow-filled streets. And heavy breeze blowing. Prabhupada is walking with his cotton cap. Like that. And city was in emergency. Power cuts were happening. Because of heavy snowfall, power cut was happening. And the whole city declared emergency. But Prabhupada is living in his room. And his morning walk as usual. The Vietnam War started at this time. It was going on. Korean War started. Americans were involved in these wars. Vietnam Wars, Korean Wars. They were drafting people. The youngsters, they were drafting into the army forcibly. Anyone who is 18 years old, they have to come for the interview and they will be recruited. And they will be given some rudimentary training in handling the gun and they will be sent to Vietnam and Korea to die. Because the war, it's a matter of prestige for that president. So, and there was a lot of resistance to this. The youngsters were not eager to go. Suddenly, imagine being drafted to the army forcibly and dispatched to some foreign country in Asia, halfway across the globe, to fight in these muddy, slimy lands where you have to fight with gorillas. Gorilla means not the monkey. Gorilla warfare. They are doing, because In Korea or Vietnam, they didn't have many weapons. They would be what they call, they will be stooping on you. Suddenly they will jump from a tree and with a knife and they will kill you like that. So this was going on, a lot of resistance, and Prabhupada was seeing on the one side weather disaster, other side warfare is spreading. Newspapers are full of these things. As a lone individual, Prabhupada could do nothing about this. So only thing he was thinking, these are the symptoms of Kali. If I can distribute Krishna consciousness, the symptoms of Kali will disappear. So I have the solution. Prabhupada is thinking all the time, oh, why I am not able to market this solution? I can make all these people happy. All their misery can go away only if they understand Krishna. Krishna can change everything. And Prabhupada is trying for the temple to manifest. He wanted $1 lakh to buy a building. He had already identified a building. He was speaking to the landlord. His name is Mr. Hartman. Prabhupada said, I will take this building. I will use it for spreading God consciousness to your people. I will do real social service to your people. Please give me that building. And he was saying, Lal Bahadur Shastri is a friend, Prime Minister of India. And once he is free from this war, I will get the money from him and I will pay you. But then suddenly what happened? You know, Lal Bahadur Shastri died mysteriously in Russia, in a city called Tashkent. So Prabhupada's hope of getting some help from Lal Bahadur disappeared. Not that Lal Bahadur had promised him any help, but Prabhupada is nurturing these hopes. If Prime Minister says yes, then foreign exchange will come, money will come. So he is hoping like that. So he went back to Hartman and said, look, Mr. Hartman, I was hoping about Lal Bahadur Shastri, but this Prime Minister has died. So in any case, I want that building. I will start this social charity mission and I will make you the director because you are giving the building. You should be the director and your noble work will be appreciated by your whole country. Right now, I am not able to pay for it. But once I start this, people will love the service what we are rendering and people will give money within America only. I don't have to bring money from India. Your own people will contribute. So please let me have the building. What is the answer? It will not be possible to help you. That is the title of today's session. Yeah. So one Lal Bahadur Shastri ka. Prabhupada writes to Indira Gandhi, please help me to establish a temple here. Please send me foreign exchange. Like in India, we have so many churches. We will establish our Indian culture here. Please give me $1 lakh. Indira Gandhi says, we have a war going on every front. In India, both sides, East Pakistan, West Pakistan, China from the north. We have to prepare for the war and our country is facing huge scarcity of foreign exchange. We have to buy weapons. We have to buy submarines. We have to buy aeroplanes. We have to buy bombs. We have to buy artillery weapons. We have to buy ammunition for our artillery. So much we need. So she didn't write all this, I'm telling you. She wrote, there is a foreign exchange crunch. We will not be able to help you. So it will not be possible to help you. Hartman, landlord, not possible to help you. Prabhupada finds a person, Padampat Singhania of JK Group. Many of you may know this JK Group of industries. He's from a Vaishnava family, devotee. So Prabhupada writes him saying, please send me $1 lakh. We will establish a temple for Krishna. You are a nice devotee of Krishna. Please give me this money, I will build. Padampat Singhania writes back saying, $1 lakh is only 30 lakh rupees, like that. No? With that, no, not even that. 1 lakh is something like 6 to 7 lakhs of rupees. With that money, how you will build a temple? Krishna temple must be built opulently. You know, here you see Krishna temple in glorious Indian architectural style, we have to build the temple. You cannot simply buy a building and make it a Krishna temple. You know, it will need a lot of money. He didn't say about money. He said, Krishna temple should be built in a very gorgeous way. Then Prabhupada wrote back to him, saying that Prabhupada realized Padampat Singhania can send millions of dollars. He has money. And he can influence the government also. Foreign exchange permission also he can get. So Prabhupada wrote back to him saying, see, Krishna in Dwarka is a king. He lives in great opulence. He marries 16,000 wives. and gives to each of them a palace. So, and you are a devotee in the Dwarka mood. You are a Dwarkawala. You are Dwarkawala. So you want to build a very opulent temple for Krishna. See, but I am a Vrindavanwala. So in Vrindavan, Krishna is only a cowherd boy and he lives in small houses and huts only. So when you and I are meeting, we have to make some compromise. So just give me $1 lakh, I will start the temple and I will build a dome on this building as like a temple. But then Singhania did not like the idea. He said, that's not the way Krishna temple should be built. We should build a proper temple, and India is having foreign exchange problem. We cannot expatriate heavy foreign exchange from here. And we need to send workers from India to build a Indian type of temple like that. Again, Prabhupada wrote back. This time, Padampa Singhania did not reply. His secretary replied, saying that my boss is not interested in this project. Thank you. We received copies of your Bhagavatam book from your local center. That's all. My boss is not interested. It will not be possible to help you. Prabhupada wrote to Tirtha Maharaj, you know, his god brother, who was in charge of Chaitanya Gaudiya Math in Mayapur. And then he also said, not possible to help you. So no one appeared to be serious with what Prabhupada wants to do. Prabhupada knows the problems of the world, problems of America, problems of the individual can all be solved with Krishna consciousness. And they just want a building to make a temple, and then I will preach from there Krishna consciousness. But then nothing was happening. But the question ultimately in the chapter, Satsrupa Goswami is asking, what is the loss to Prabhupada? After all the struggle and no taste of success, what is the loss? But he had already succeeded. That's what he writes. Prabhupada already succeeded. How he succeeded? In all these bleak situations, the cold winter of New York, poor health of Srila Prabhupada, no money to pay rent, not enough money to maintain himself and to do preaching. In this situation, he is remembering Krishna constantly. In this New York winter of 1965-66, whether others recognize him or not, he is in complete Krishna consciousness. Not a day went by when he did not work on Krishna's books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, or he did not offer prasadam to Krishna, bhoga to Krishna. Every day he was translating and he was offering bhoga to Krishna and he was speaking on Bhagavad Gita in his residence. He was keeping a board, Bhagavatam class, Bhagavad Gita class every day, 3 days a week, like that. And he was teaching 3 days Bhagavad Gita, 3 days Bhagavad Gita. He was giving classes. So he has already succeeded. So for all of us, what is the test? Are we remembering Krishna in our life? In every situation, Prabhupada is doing that. Prabhupada is saturated with Krishna consciousness and is only struggling for our sake. Today we are all enjoying the fruit of what Prabhupada struggled for in America. So he was remembering Krishna's words, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, my devotee will never perish. Prabhupada had no doubt about it. Only the Americans were not recognizing. Here is a pure devotee among us who can solve our problems perfectly. So that was the situation. And here is a small, from a lecture of Prabhupada, what he gave in New York, a small piece of that lecture. Here I am sitting in New York, the world's greatest magnificent city. But my heart is always hankering for Vrindavan. But then, why are you here? You may ask me, oh, you are hankering for Vrindavan. Why did you come here? Now, because it is my duty. I have brought some message for you people because I have been ordered by my superior, my spiritual master. Whatever you have learned, you should go to the Western countries and you must distribute this knowledge. So in spite of all my difficulties, all my inconveniences, I am here because I am obligated by duty. How does the duty come? Can anybody say? Why does Prabhupada feel so duty bound?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Right.
Gratitude towards Guru Prabhuji.
Yeah. See, this is how seriously one should take the instructions of spiritual master. Right? Because Prabhupada wrote in Bhagavad Gita purports to that shloka, Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha purnandana. In chapter 2, I don't know, shloka number 55 or something, chapter 2. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha purnandana bahushaka hyanantascha buddhayo avyavasayam. In that purport, commentary, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written, a disciple should take the instructions of his spiritual master as his life and soul. Prabhupada read that, and from that day, he took the instructions of his spiritual master as his life and soul. And what was the instruction? You are an educated young man, you should go to the English-speaking world and speak to them in English. And you should write books in English and distribute to them. And that is the way you should propagate Krishna consciousness. So that is why Prabhupada has come at this advanced age. So Prabhupada also says, when a spiritual master gives you an instruction, the empowerment is there in the instruction. Anyone who takes that instruction seriously, they will feel the empowerment. So Prabhupada was taken seriously and he was feeling the empowerment all the time. Prabhupada says, I was never alone. I was always with my spiritual master, because the spiritual master has two dimensions, Vapu and Vani. He lives in both ways. The Vapu is sometimes visible, then becomes invisible. Vapu. Prakata, aprakata. The spiritual master is not a human being. He is the supreme, pure devotee of the Lord. So his body is not material. So he appears and disappears. The Vapu appears, disappears, but his Vani remains. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, that a Vaishnava, a person who thinks a Vaishnava dies, his reasoning is not good. He reasons ill who thinks a Vaishnava dies. But a Vaishnava, in dying, he lives, spreading the holy name around. So he lives in the sound of the holy name. He is always alive in the form of his Vani, in the form of his instructions. So if you associate with the Vani of your spiritual master, you will never feel separation. You will always feel the presence of the spiritual master with you. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. So it is with this mood that Prabhupada went to America. And it is because of this mood that Prabhupada succeeded, where no one else had succeeded. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati sent many of his other disciples also to America, but they did not succeed. But how Prabhupada succeeded. So in this chapter, we see how even after 6 months of being in America, Prabhupada went in September. Now this is up to April. There is darkness all around. Yeah. So it is said the darkest part of the night is, does anyone know this proverb? When is the darkest part of the night? Is it midnight like that? The darkest part of night is just before dawn. Like we say, every dark cloud has a silver lining. So here, it is the darkest part. Prabhupada is stuck up completely. He has been in America from September to April. How many months? 4 plus 4, 8 months are gone. Right? No sign of anything materializing. Wherever he is tapping doors, they are shut on his face. They are not offering help. Whether it is in America or in India, nothing is happening really. But not that Prabhupada has stopped his preaching. He has not stopped his translation work. He has not stopped serving the Supreme Lord by offering Bhoga every day. He's doing 24 hours. But his mission, that is the hope of success. Prabhupada prayed to Krishna, if you like, you can prove my name of Bhakti Vedanta. You can empower my words and you can help them to understand, even though they are steeped in Rajogun and Tamogun, you can help them to understand this transcendental message. But there is no light. So it is like the darkest part of the night. So now you know, darkest part of the night is just before dawn. So now the dawn is coming. Now we are discussing in the darkest part of the night. So this is the end of today's session. Next week, we will see how Prabhupada shifts to the lower east side Prabhupada is now in the opulent part of New York. He will shift to the downtrodden part of New York. That we will see in the coming weeks, and how amazingly Krishna is moving the pawns, the coins of the chessboard. Even though we are seeing Prabhupada struggling, but very expertly Krishna is moving the coins. How Krishna wants to give the entire credit to Srila Prabhupada. Forever, anyone who reads Prabhupada Lilamritha will realize how a single-handedly, a old man of 70 years made this worldwide mission happen, which is living till today as a vibrant movement. It did not die after Prabhupada died. From 77 to now, almost 50 years. And the movement is only growing from strength to strength. And he sowed the seed for only 12 years, from 66 to 77. This was the time that ISKCON was founded and grown by his efforts. After that, his disciples have been doing it. So, this credit Krishna wanted to give to Prabhupada entirely. Like the Mahabharata war, Krishna wanted to give the credit to Arjuna. Krishna told, in the form of time, all these people have been killed by me, Arjuna. And he showed in Virat Roop how Duryodhan, Dushasan, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all of them were rushing into the mouth of that fearful form. Flames are pouring out of his mouth, and huge teeth. They are chewing the heads of these people into powder, and the fire is burning them. They are running like moths running towards a candle. They are just rushing. Then Krishna said, in the form of time, they are all dead. In my form, I have killed them. But I want Arjuna to give you the credit. So, nimitta matram bhava savyasach. Just become the instrument in my hand and let me do everything through you, so that all the credit will come to you. You are my pure devotee. Same thing we see happening in the life of Srila Prabhupada. Like Arjuna, he is fighting. And Krishna, from the background, is going to give all credit to Srila Prabhupada. Not even one drop should be taken by anybody else. So that is how it is going. Thank you very much. So, any comments or anything that you would like to say? Hare Krishna.
It was wonderful, Prabhuji. Waiting for the next session of dawn.
Yeah, you have to wait a little more for the dawn. And dear devotees, next Saturday, I am traveling to Ahobilam for a 3-day yatra. So next Saturday class also, we may have to hold it on a different day. That I will announce it in the group. Please make it convenient to join, so that we don't miss. We are, after all, having one class per week. I really do not want to miss it also. So the next week session also will happen on a day other than Friday. I am leaving, so Friday also we cannot have. We may have to have it on a Thursday or something like that. Please do join and encourage me to make these preparations for sharing with all of you. Hare Krishna. So,
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you. I'm just seeing the chat box. Suma Mataji is quoted 7:15. What is it, Mataji?
That shloka, Prabhuji, it was not 7:15, Bahunam Janmanam, 7.919.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes.
Prabhuji, in today's class you said, may I ask, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go on.
The Paramatma is living in our heart. So there is no, when I had asked this, it very in earlier class, Prabhuji, once. So that time you said there is no difference between the Paramatma and Bhagavan also. So today, in today's class, it was like confusing for me. Prabhuji.
No, there is no difference. See, if someone saw the train from a distance, he said it is light only. He was right, no? The light is also train only.
Yes.
Someone saw the train stopping in the station, but someone entered into the train and he had amazing rasa. He experienced it. So same way, Mayavadis or Jnanis see the Lord from a great distance. Like if you see Himalayas from a distance, you will see only a silhouette, one line on the skyline. That's all you will see. But as you go closer, you get better. Same way, Paramatma is an intermediate realization of the Supreme Truth. It is better than Brahman, but not as good as Bhagavan. Rasa is missing at the Paramatma realization. Paramatma is the Supreme Lord only. Krishna is also Paramatma only. Bhagavan
Okay,
is.
there is no difference in that, Prabhuji. Okay.
The difference is in our vision only.
In our vision. Okay. Thank you.
Like Prabhupada would say, sunlight, sun globe, and sun god.
Okay. Okay,
The
Prabhuji.
sunlight
Thank
is
you.
coming into your house, but you say sun has come into the house, but actually sun has not come, only the light has come, like that. But it is all Krishna only. Paramatma, Bhagavan, Brahman, they are all Krishna. Is it okay,
So,
Mati?
yes, Prabhuji. So he does not act only as a witness, but he can be the sanctioner or any. It's the same. So that is what, no, Prabhuji?
The sanctioner is also neutral, you see. See, Upadrishta, Anumantacha, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwar. That is how in 15th chapter the Paramatma is defined. Upadrishta, the soul is Drishta, and he is Upadrishta. He is another witness. But there is a difference. The soul is an attached witness, but Paramatma is an unattached witness. So he is giving permission means because of the desire. This example is given by Prabhupada, like a flower and a nose. The flower is at a distance, but the nose is getting the smell of the flower without touching the flower. Same way, the Paramatma has no attachment, but he knows the desire of the soul. And he also knows the karma, the competence of the soul. Accordingly, he sanctions. When he sanctions, the Prakriti executes it. Mahamaya, she executes it. So,
yes.
Krishna is still not having any attachment. When he sanctions it, he is not affected by that sanction. Like a Supreme Court judge is saying somebody to be hanged, somebody to be given some wealth, somebody to be imprisoned. But he's not affected. He's neutral.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Paramatma is neutral. Bhagavan is not neutral. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, and this is what only I was not able to understand, Prabhuji. Paramatma is neutral, but the Bhagavan is not neutral. But
Bhagavan
at
is
the same
Bhakta
time,
Vatsal. He's Bhakta Vatsal. Yeah.
that is what I could not make understand, Prabhuji. Like Paramatma and Bhagavan, there is no difference. That is what is being heard now. So how can there be difference, Prabhuji?
No,
Like,
it is reciprocation only, no?
okay,
You
in the
are neutral
reciprocal.
to Bhagavan, then he becomes Paramatma for you.
Okay.
Want rasa, you don't want to exchange love with him.
Okay, Prabhuji.
He becomes. It's all reciprocation only. For some people, it's Brahman out of reciprocation. He becomes Paramatma out of reciprocation, and he becomes Bhagavan also out of reciprocation. And even as Bhagavan, to somebody he becomes a master, to somebody he becomes a friend, to somebody he becomes a child, to somebody he becomes a lover or a husband. It's all reciprocation.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, I got it now. I'm very sorry, Prabhuji. And
No.
Dandavat Pranams, Prabhuji.
It's good
Thank
to
you
ask
so much.
and get that. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranams. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
So, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya Vichaya Patitanam Pavadevyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nantapur Vaishnavanda Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gurudev Ki Jai.
Jai.
So I will end
Hare
this.
Krishna.